Most of the time, I hear people saying, I love that food. I treated myself. I can't wait to go back to that restaurant. I just enjoyed that food. And that prompts me to wonder, what does enjoying your food means to people? That will be our topic today. My name is Marlise Asonken Soptafo. You are a clinical nutritionist. Stay tuned. Usually when we eat, we engage our five senses, which are basically the sight, the smell, the taste, the touch, and the hearing. That is, the sensory perception of the food is the main stimuli that we experience through our five senses. Say, when you see your favorite food, or you hear the crunch of your freshly baked baguette, you salivate, don't you? When you catch a whiff of coffee or food as you walk past a coffee shop or a restaurant, does it not make you want to cross the door and place your order? When you feel the texture of a freshly baked croissant that just come out of the oven, don't you want to eat it? Or when your taste buds come in contact with your favorite food, doesn't it make you want to finish the whole of it? Most of the time, we finalize those interactions with the food by eating it. Even when it makes us sick, we still eat them because they are palatable and our brain has been trained to like them that way. Actually, we've been strategically taught that from our childhood by our parents, our school teachers, the family, the media, and also our neighbors. That is, we've made our five senses the main drive of our food choices. The food industry has mastered this human behavior pattern and plays very well with it, making sure that the packaging of processed food is attractive, the taste highly palatable, with the addictive agent to keep you wanting more of it. The trouble with this choice pattern is that it revolves around the superficial feel good sensation that we experience during the short time of the meal, but it completely disregards the body's aftermath state. Oftentimes, after eating a certain food, we almost immediately feel stomach pain, bloating, tiredness, sluggishness, difficulty breathing. In the long run, it can even cause much more serious health issues such as obesity, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and other metabolic diseases. In other words, it makes us feel miserable, even though we enjoy the short meal time. Just like you smoke cigarettes or you drink alcohol on a regular basis, it will make you feel good temporarily, but it's going to leave a long-lasting damaging health effect on your body. The question now is, do we want to settle for this temporarily feel-good sensation of food and bear the long-lasting health consequences of our choices? Or are we aiming for food that will provide lifelong health and well-being benefit? If your goal is health, then I have good news for you. The good news is that as you've been training your brain to like highly palatable food, you can reverse it by training your brain to choose and to enjoy foods that are supportive to your health. That will require you to unlearn what you've been taught throughout your life and gradually install a new relationship with food that will improve your well-being. I reckon that it will not be a simple thing to do, but nothing great comes easy, right? Especially when it comes to food choices. As it is, food is an important part of our life as it provides us with pleasure, just like sex, video games, shopping, cigarette, alcohol, books will do. Food is like an island of pleasure in the rough ocean of our stressful lives. We naturally tend to look for comfort in our island called food, especially after a long day of sailing in troubled waters. That's why it's hard to question or compromise our food choices. We all want to keep the pleasure the way it is and stay in our comfort zone, even though that means the short-lived pleasure that might lead to pain and disease thereafter. As pointed out by Anna Lembke, a psychiatrist and medical director of Stanford Addiction Medicine, in her book Dopamine Nation, pleasure and pain are co-located. In fact, they work like a balance. That is, when pleasure is high, pain is less, and vice versa. In normal circumstances where pleasure is not overstimulated, the body keeps the balance of the pleasure and pain level. But repeated exposure to the same pleasure will lessen the pleasure, and that will make you need more exposure to keep up with the same amount of that pleasure. In other words, if you find a glass of Coke pleasurable and you keep drinking the same glass of Coke every day, you are not going to have the same pleasure the 10th day as you had the first day. It will be much less than that. Your pleasure will reduce. And in pursuit of the same pleasure that you got the first time, you will have to drink more than one glass of Coke. And that will lead to addiction and more vulnerability and more exposure to pain. And this is where our food choices and food behavior patterns lead us to. However, we have the power to reverse that pattern. Our brain has the ability to change, which is called neuroplasticity. That is, as described by Mateos-Aparicio in 2019, our brain has the ability to undo a neural pattern and create another one. In other words, as our brain has been trained to choose food based on our 5 senses, we can undo that pattern and start training our brain to choose food based on how we feel during meals and also after meals. And also make our food choices based on the foods that provide us with more sustained energy to carry our activities during the day, the food that give us mental clarity and alertness. And to sum it up, to train our brain to choose food that will give us the luxury of a 5 stars body and mind wellness. Are you ready to give a new kick to your wellness today? Then start a 2 weeks challenge of eating foods, only foods that makes your body feel good. Then discard in the process all food that makes you feel sick or miserable, and see how it is after 2 weeks. It's not going to be easy. Even those 2 weeks are going to be very hard. But remember, those are the food choices that you have acquired since your childhood. So you will need to be a bit gentle on you and know that it will take time, a lot of patience, a lot of love also for yourself to be able to overcome that. And only perseverance will set you free. So as you feel comfortable, increase the length of time. From 2 weeks, you can just add 1 more week, making it 21 days. And as you go, you are going to create another pattern, a new pattern, as we just mentioned earlier. That pattern will be your new lifestyle, but only perseverance will make you reach that goal. If you think that is too much for you, think of it that way. If you are able to save up for a smartphone, the latest one, a car, a house, or any other investment, you will need your health to enjoy it, isn't it? Your well-being at the end is the priority. If you don't have it, you have nothing. Thank you for watching. I hope that you liked the content. If you did, share around you. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time. Ciao, bye-bye. Check the link of the study in the description box.